Okay, cool. We're on. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope y'all are looking forward to the weekend. So, hope y'all are doing good. I'm doing good. Good. Hello. Hey. Hi. Hey, Miss Tam. Hey, Glam. Hey, folks. Hey, Leah. All right. So, y'all can just go ahead and start posting your questions in the comment section below. For those of you who are new to the lives, every Wednesday and every Friday, I give you guys an hour of my time to read and answer your questions. And so you can ask your question in the comment section below. I try to get through as many as I can. Not everyone will get a reading. So just know that coming in here, because I don't want people to be like, oh, I always watch and you never pick me. I was like, it's not like I'm trying to do that, girl. So just FYI with that. But yeah, you can ask me about your life. So you want to ask me a question about a situation, or if you need clarity regarding a problem or an issue, just ask the specific question. People like to ask very generalized questions. Do you have a message for me? What do you see for me? I want a reading. What do you see for my love life? Those are general questions, do not pertain to a situation or issue, and because of that, I won't stop and read your question or even answer it, because it's going to take too much time to figure out what you're asking me. So I would rather just you be specific and get to the point. You're not keeping me from being psychic by telling me what you need clarity with, and don't assume I know everything, because I don't. It doesn't work that way. So just FYI, if you want guidance with a specific issue, ask a specific question so that I can target it and then start working through and getting through as many as I can. If you want to connect with the loved one in spirit, let me know who you want to connect with, and I'll intend to connect with that person and see if I can bring through any messages or anything that can help to affirm for you that they are with you or that they are going to be around. Okay. What else? You want to know more about what I do, if you want to know about my pricing, my booking options, whatever that has to do with me, go to my website. Everything is on there. So you can find out what my schedule is like, what my availability is like, all the different services that I offer, etc. FYI, and I want to make this clear, for those, the emergency appointments are going to be changing in pricing. Which is I think it's one of the most expensive sessions, but the emergency portions are going to be changing in pricing. All the other stuff is not changing in pricing, just the emergency, just because the reason why I began having emergency appointments, and when I say emergency, it doesn't mean like within a minute of you wanting an appointment, meaning that you can book an appointment sooner rather than later, right? But because I've kept things cheap, on the cheap, they get booked out really far out, and it is making it harder for people to actually be able to have something sooner rather than later. So I'm gonna change the pricing on the emergency, so that way that it's not as easy for just anybody, and then if people really need something sooner rather than later, then that option is available to them, because some people have no problem paying a little bit extra, but it's like there's not really much of a difference from the 15-minute appointments. And so I'm making that change for y'all, so that way y'all know what I'm doing. So I don't want to hear it like, you went up in your prices. No, I didn't go up in my prices. I changed the emergency appointment prices. That's one service. That's the only service. I'm keeping everything the same. I'm not changing that. And it's just for that reason alone. That's the only reason, okay? But that's it. So that's all that I just wanted to share about that. What else? I think that's all I need to tell you. If you want to know about my podcast, if you want to know about my free courses on YouTube, because I offer free courses so you can learn how to do this and you can learn how to be better at being psychic, you can go to my website. Everything's on there, so you'll find everything you need to know about there. If you're on Facebook, FYI, there are trolls in there that pop in there. Random people. It look like regular people. They're not. They're either bots or they're trolls. But they basically will message you and ask you to private message them, or that they want to give you a reading. Those are trolls. They're going to take your money or ask you to buy something. So be careful, because you don't want to get your money taken. Okay. I think that's it. I'm a little low on energy, guys, by the way. So I might go a little slower than y'all are used to. I also may do a little more like the comment version questions and not as many video. But by the way, yeah, if you want to be on video with me, go over to Instagram, because that's where I do the videos. So I am going to pick people to do video readings with, but that's where you have to go to get the video version. Okay. All right. So let's get through here. So let me go through here. Charisse Mars, like, when will I be in a loving and healthy relationship? I'm dating around now. As far as like a serious relationship or a healthy relationship, it may take a little while, so don't be mad at me, but I feel like it's going to take about 2.7 to 3 years. So this might be 2 years and 7 months to 3 years. Around there is when I see a relationship for you. Okay, it's interesting because it feels like it's going to be someone you already met at that time. I don't know if you met them yet now, but I feel like when you get with this person, it feels like someone you would have already met, but nothing happened, either because you were in a relationship, because you were already involved with somebody, or you were talking to somebody, or they were talking to somebody, but it doesn't feel like anything starts up then, and then like a little while later, that's when something starts to stir up. Okay. Barbara, I'm really worried about my grandson. Is he going to get better? I feel like this is going to be a process for him, and I think that he might have to go through 2 periods of close calls, or 2 periods of just him hitting rock bottom. And so I feel like he may have to go through 2 periods of this. The first period, I think, may come this year, or the first one that I'm seeing will come this year, within this year. Then the second one will be 3 or 4 years down the road. So he may go through all that. I do think after 3 or 4 years, it seems better, and they seem to be a little bit easier, or it's just there's less worry there for some reason after 3 or 4 years. But I feel like he has to go through 2 periods where it's just really hard for him, or he has to hit like a rock bottom scenario. And it's almost like, the way I would describe it is almost like, okay, I'm trying, and then it's not working, and then there's a slump. And then I get back up to stable, or get back up to balance, and then I'm moving forward, and then 3 to 4 years, there's another period of a dip, or another period of a drop, where something's not going the way it's supposed to, and then he recoups from that. So I feel like there's these 2 periods of where, like I said, there's a drop in his stability. But I do think that it will get better, but it's just going to take time. It's going to take time. Tam, Ferny, do you see me getting married this year, or will we break up this year? Oh, that's a big extreme there. I am not thinking that there will be a breakup this year. I'm not thinking there will be a marriage this year either. I would say that there's more of a likelihood of marriage early next year, or the first half of 2022. So first half of next year, there may be more of an opportunity for marriage. I'm not thinking that there's going to be like a breakup. Y'all may take a break, but that doesn't mean that y'all are going to break up. Meaning that y'all may just take some breaks, or just take some time out. But I don't feel like I'm seeing a breakup right now. I am seeing something more like a wedding or a marriage, but that's like early next year. Okay. Julia's like, Ferny, have you had any more visions about Mount Rainier? I feel like we're getting close. I just don't know exactly when, because I know it's like part of the Ring of Fire, right? I'm assuming it's part of the Ring of Fire or whatever. And I keep thinking of when we start hearing about more consistent earthquakes in that area, which we're already starting. There was an earthquake yesterday in like California, right? And there's starting to be a kick up of things. I don't live there, so I don't know if this is normal or not. But I feel like when you start to have like a lot more like mini earthquakes in a succession, in like a 2 week, I feel like there's going to be a 2 week period where people are going to have a good amount of warning, where it's like there's something kicking on, there's something kicking up, but then there's also these like micro earthquakes, and it feels like it goes on for like almost 2 weeks before there's a final like, okay. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm seeing. I also think that what we're seeing in like other parts of California and also in Alaska is also part of the same thing. It's going to sound crazy because I haven't seen any scientific evidence that even supports this hypothesis or theory. I know the only thing that I saw was that if you look online, that the Earth's crust is becoming lopsided, and they don't really know why, but that they're talking about that the Earth's crust, or the core, is becoming lopsided, meaning that it's heavier on one side versus the other. I actually feel like what's happening is with that, it's actually not pushing out, but it's affecting the surrounding area, the core. And part of that is, I believe, is like where the ring of fire would be at. So it's almost like it's acting as kind of like and part of it is because I feel like the planet, not only is the planet heating up in the atmosphere, but I also feel like the planet at its core is heating up because the sun is heating up. So the sun may start to put out more, but it's all the other planets as well, because it's just not, there's a lot, this is so complicated, because this is like, we are definitely doing something to this planet to mess it up, but then there's also a pattern that's happening in the system as well. So there's all these things that are kind of coinciding that I feel are contributing to all these issues with the core. And what I think is going to happen is, as the core continues to become more lopsided, etc., I feel like this is going to affect areas that are more easily impacted by crustal displacement or crustal shifts. And that's why I feel some of this stuff is starting to kick up with the ring of fire in that area there. So that's my hypothesis of what I think is actually happening there. But I feel like there'll be like a 2-week period where something is definitely becoming obvious to people, where there's like more micro earthquakes, and there may even be talk that maybe it is Mount Rainier, which is weird, because I feel like I was looking it up. I was like, is there any earthquakes? Is there anything there? And I couldn't see anything that was supporting what I'm seeing. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm not seeing what I'm seeing correctly. But I feel like it's gonna be weird. It's just weird. But I feel like there's like a 2-week period where you'll kind of have a good idea that something's coming. Okay. But I noticed something. Whenever I feel like something's getting close, I start to look it up more often, because I feel like I'm like, this is supposed to be happening now, or this is supposed to be coming up. And so I start looking more into it and looking online to see if I see anything supporting that. But when I start doing that, I know that I'm getting close, because I feel like I'm getting that pull as well. I'm not there yet, but I did started to feel that way in the last 2 days. So what I would say, and that's why I said 2 or 3 months, because I feel like it's sooner rather than later. I don't feel like this is like next year, but that's how I would describe it. Okay. Ernie James, do you see me getting with a girl in the near future, Ferny? So there might actually be 2 opportunities for you that come up. I do think that there's someone that would be like a acquaintance or a friend who either may have a little crush on you, or who might share that they have, like, they feel something, or they're having a desire. That's one. Then there's another one that I think comes up next summer that feels like that has more of a capacity or ability for a relationship. So the one that I would say is more like a friend or associate that may just be them letting you know, or you being made aware that they are attracted to you. That may not go anywhere. It may not even really turn into much. It may just actually be kind of awkward, I would say. But then there's something else next summer that I think feels a little more consistent with like a relationship. That person has darker features, darker hair, darker features. I want to say that person may be mixed with, it almost reminds me of like a Puerto Rican, features. So someone who's got like more Puerto Rican features to it. Like, I feel like it's got like a mix of features. Okay. Evelyn Ramirez. Evelyn. I hope I'm saying it correctly, Evelyn. If it's Evelyn, then I say it that way. I'm going to school to become an RN. I wanted to see how that was going to go. I actually think it'll go fine. I do think that the last part of it you might struggle with. So what I would say is the last 2 exams, or the last 2, like, I don't know what the process is like, but I feel like the last 2 exams, or the last 2 tests that you have to take to get done, I feel like you might struggle a lot more with that. And part of that has to do with, you might be going through some stuff at that time, which may distract you or take your attention away. So you really need to focus and be hyper fixated during that period. And people distracting you, like, slap them, or whatever you got to do to get them out of your face. Just get them away from you, because you need to focus on getting through those tests. However, I do think that that's the first step in a direction, because I think what's going to be happening is, I think at some point you're going to become, RN is the start, but I also think at some point you're going to go into substance abuse recovery, or some sort of trauma recovery, where you might get additional credentials or additional skills. But you'll do that down the road, and that'll take about 4 or 5 years after you've been doing RN for a while. Okay, Lizbeth. On will my new hustle become a long-term business? I think your new hustle, I think what you'll do is you'll focus on it for a couple years. You might kind of go back and forth because sometimes you get into this habit where you are like expecting miracles overnight. And so you sometimes go through that, which I get it because I'm the same way. But you can get into that habit where you're like expecting something to change real fast, real quickly, and it may not. And so sometimes when you don't get what you want, you're just like, nah. You know, it's just like whatever. And so I can see you doing that a couple of times, which may slow you down actually, or like not help you with building your momentum. But I feel like you're going to try to keep it going, or try to keep putting energy into it for a couple of years. At the end of that period, it feels like you might adjust it or kind of take it in a little bit of a different direction. For example, like if someone were going to be a tattoo artist and they decided, tattoos are fine, but I'm also going to do like tattoo removal, or I'm going to go and do something different. And it still has to do with like skin or whatever. It almost is like a deviation from the first one, but it's slightly different. So I feel like with the hustle, it's not bad. You'll learn some things, but I think that you're going to deviate into something a little bit different than that, but it's still it's got the same feeling to it after a couple years. Okay. Destiny Lehuin. Will I get pregnant soon? There might be baby energy around you in about 3.5 months. So I would say about 3.5 months, I'm seeing baby energy. So you might score in about 3.5 months. Kamal. Hey Ferny, any messages for my grandparents? Lost both of them this year. Yeah, with your grandmother. She's beautiful. I don't know if she was extremely beautiful when she was younger, but I'm like, she's gorgeous. So I feel like she's beautiful. There's a significant picture of her that feels like it may only be the head or just the top, and then her hair is like in a bun on top. So I feel like there's a picture like this. It almost reminds me of Breakfast at Tiffany's. So if you look at like the character from Breakfast at Tiffany's, I forgot her name, Audrey Hepburn, I think her name is Audrey Hepburn. There's a prominent picture where she has her head like up, and then there's a bun, and then she has like her necklace and stuff. She's gorgeous, but she's doing this, and she's like got that. There's an image looks very similar to your grandmother that y'all may have that is like that, except she's wearing something light colored. She's not wearing darker color clothing. But there's an image giving me a nickname or a name. I'm not sure if this is the nickname or a name of an animal or of a person, but it sounds like Bibi or Pepe sounding name that feels like it's connected to either a person or an animal. But I was thinking of an animal because my mom's boyfriend's name or his nickname is Pepe, but I kept seeing an animal, so I was trying to figure out what I was seeing there. But there's a reference to that as well. She top where it's like it may be like solid at the bottom, and then the top may be glass that you open up because there's something like this that she's wanting to show me as well. She's showing me a ring as well, so there might be a ring that either it's going to get passed down or that someone is going to keep, and then you'll at some point be able to have it yourself. But there's something about a ring also that she wants to bring up with that also. With your grandfather, I smell good, so I don't know if he either liked to smell good or liked cologne, but I smell like good. You know those older gentlemen that like they know how to smell? It's almost like there's some scent that I want to associate with him that like I know he just got ready, or I know he just changed, or he's ready for church. Like it's almost like a feeling of that where you smell that. The only time I smell that with males is when they're going to an event like a wedding or something like that, or when they're going to church. So there's something like that he's making reference, because I can smell him, and when you smell that out of nowhere, that's him coming around you. They are together, yes. Sunny Gomez, do you see any more babies in my future? So, you might have a chance in about 3.5 years. It's a while. However, around the time this is happening, you might have 1 or 2 false positives, or you might have 1 or 2 tries, and then like you are able to like get it done in the third attempt. But it might be risky because the doctors may tell you that you're a high risk for certain issues, or there's certain things going on with your reproductive system which might make you more of a riskier case at that time. What I would say to you is this: if you are going to really be trying, you want to go to the doctor and get a full like physical or follow up with your reproductive system, just because I feel like this may actually be tied to the reproductive system. So if anything you can do to follow up with that, I would say go for it, because I feel like that could definitely help you. The second thing I would recommend is when you do get pregnant, don't act like you're Superwoman and you can just be yourself, be normal, eat whatever. Like, oh, like I'm supposed to eat for 17 kids, and I'm going to eat whatever I want. Don't be that person, because if you've got some health condition or you have some health concerns at the time, you're going to have to be very thorough. Don't think that you can just walk around and be like, oh, I can do whatever. No, baby girl, you cannot do whatever. You need to like watch yourself and go to the doctor and follow through with what they want from you. Okay? But that's around the timing is when I think that may happen. Dana. Hey, Ferny. Any messages from my spirit guides? I keep seeing repeating numbers 323, 222, 111, 444, etc. Yeah. It just means that you're where you need to be in your life right now. You're going through what you need to be going through right now. Either positive or negative, doesn't matter. That's just an affirmation. It's just telling you like you're aligned and where you're at is where you're supposed to be. Also, there's a big change that may come up in about 3 months for you, where you might have to move quickly to take advantage of something that you've been wanting or that you've been really waiting for. For example, like if there's a certain vehicle that I've been wanting, I'm like, oh my God, I've been waiting for that opportunity, and then like I need to move fast. Or oh my God, that house is perfect. That's exactly what I've been wanting, and then I have to move fast. There's something in 3 months where you may have to move fairly quickly to get it, or you're gonna lose that, and then you're gonna be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have like questioned it, or like I just should have gone for it. So just be FYI, be aware of that. Okay. Let's see, go to here. Myra. Hi, Ferny. Do you see me and Joseph getting back together? Should I move on? I don't think he's the one, Mama. I don't think he's the one. I think that anything with him, I feel it's just going to be a back and forth. So what I would say is with him, I feel just mix messages back and forth, and then I feel like at some point you'll just end up regretting wasting time because he ends up with somebody else. So actually, he might try to get back together with someone from his past. So I would say you probably need to. I can't tell you what to do. It's your life. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. However, I would suggest that you just move on and move forward. And if he wants to get back together, let him do the work to show you that he's serious, which I don't think will happen, but I would just like move forward. Okay. I try to be very careful with telling people what to do, because like people want me to make their choices for them, and they're like, tell me what to do or what should I do. And I'm like, when you start a question with what should I do in this situation, or what should, immediately I'm like, I ain't making your decision for you. I got enough trouble trying to make my own damn decisions and trying to do what I got to do for myself. I don't need your decisions to have to take on my back as well. So no, ma'am, you need to make those decisions, and you need to like accept the outcome, because that's exactly what I have to do with myself, and I ain't trying to take your stuff on me. I don't need people calling me, Ferny, you told me to do this. You told me. No, ma'am. Go listen to that recording, because there's a reason why you got a recording, and I was very specific in what I said. So you may go listen to your recording and hear what I said. Don't hear what you want to hear or what you thought I said. So that's how I got to give you no. Don't be trying to put that on me. I ain't trying to make your life's decisions for you. Oh, por vida, Ferny, love, please tell me, when do you see a new man coming in for my son, and can you describe him? Will this finally be his person? Love you, Ferny. He needs to set boundaries, and he needs to not be so accommodating, because sometimes he can be too accommodating, and he's like missing red flags that he should obviously pay attention to. I do think that there's a few options. One, there's someone that he may have dated in the past or may have been friends with in the past who may pop back into his life, or he may reconnect with by early next year, early 2022. I don't feel bad about it, but it feels like circumstances may not make it easy, meaning that either the living situation is going to be challenging, he's in a different state, city, it just may make it challenging. The second opportunity, I feel, is going to come from March of 2023. March of 2023. That person's name is Victor. They might be Filipino. super funny person. I wouldn't be surprised if that person does stand-up comedy, or they're actually like they work in like the comedy business, because I keep thinking of someone who's funny. But I feel like the person's Filipino, and I think that they I like them. I like them. So I think that might be the better option than the friendship one. Okay. Bur Burries? Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my Aunt Margaret? Thank you. Yes. It's going to sound weird, but I feel like I'm seeing two pavers. I'm seeing pavers. Now, here's the thing with pavers. That can mean a whole lot of things, because for me, pavers, I mean, that's what we put in our garden. So we have pavers in our garden. So either she's trying to acknowledge the way something's been landscaped, or the landscaping of the garden and the pavers, and really liking those. Or y'all may have like bricks or stone pieces that y'all dedicated to her, or y'all made something with for her. But I feel like she's showing me something like this. She's also making a rainbow for me in the sky. So rainbows are going to be a sign from her. She also is acknowledging, thank you. I don't know if she was a smoker, but I keep seeing smoke. I keep smelling smoke. So if she was a smoker, then I would say there, when you smell that may be her. Buzzy. Buzzy or Buzz? Buddy? Buzz? If it's not her, then it's like a person that's got this B reference. Like Buzzy or Buzz. So there's like a name like that she's trying to acknowledge with her as well. Okay? Amma, hi Ferny, do you see my brother-in-law winning the settlement on a large amount of land? So, this is going to get complicated, because I can see him winning a large percentage, if not all of it. However, the cost of this for him is going to be extreme, or this may be a really costly process to have to go through. And he may have to sell part of the land or give up part of the land to just compensate for the cost that this is going to be. So, for example, which is weird because I don't know of attorneys that usually do this. I know some attorneys or some attorneys will, like, instead of paying them, they'll take something, like, you can give them something that has a lot of value, like a baby grand piano or something, right? But I almost feel like it wouldn't surprise me if he works out an arrangement or a deal with either the legal representation or the attorney regarding the value of part of the land, or keeping part of the land. So there's something there that I kind of want to attach to that. But I would say I think that he probably will get a good chunk of, if not all of it. I also think that he might have to rebuttal this, meaning that he might try this once. Either the time wasn't proper and he missed this has to be refiled, and then he has to do it again, or he had to just like what's it called? When you just, like, there's a judgment, you don't agree with it, and then you, like, fight the judgment. It feels like there's a double attempt, or they have to do a double try with the timing of the procedures, because I feel like something feels off with, I missed this the first time, or I messed this up the first time. So then I do it again, and I'm like, okay, I'm good now. So that's the way I feel about it as well. Okay. Let's bring somebody on. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's okay. I'll let that go. It's weird because I started, like, my energy's, like, dropping really fast. I'm like, what's going on? It's Sholly. Hey, Ferny, any messages from my boyfriend's mom? For my boyfriend's mom, from her dad or mom, thank you so much. Yes. First of all, her father, I don't know if he was in the military or she has, like, metal or... I don't think, yeah. I want to say I'm seeing something that reminds me of military. So there's something military related that she may have, or that she may have gotten from him, because there's something there that I want to relate to that. He also is doing this, so there may be a cap or an actual special brimmed hat that is connected to him as well that he's acknowledging. He also keeps it. Thank you. He also Pinky. There might be a joke about Pinky. So I don't know. There's a joke about either pinky finger, pinky animal, or something about the pinky and the joke. But there's a reference there. He also keeps it's funny because he's like making fun of his teeth. So I don't know if he was losing all of his teeth or he was starting to have trouble with his teeth. But he's like going, so he's like trying to be funny. He also says that it feels a lot better not to be in the physical body. So either he was having a rough time with his physical body and it was just not an easy time for him. But it almost feels like he feels lighter. And I want to say I feel humorous. So it's almost like I can be happy or I can be joking, like, and just have a good time. Mom, butterflies are connected to mom because I'm seeing butterflies. She also may, if she gets random calls or doorbell rings and there's nothing there or nobody there, that's mom, because she says she calls her, which I mean maybe she's just trying to call to like catch up or like gossip, but she's like acknowledging that. She also says thank you. Some people don't use tablecloths anymore, and some people do. I personally like tablecloths, so I like, but she's showing me a tablecloth. So I don't know if there's a tablecloth or a table covering or doilies that are connected to mom that she wants to make reference to as well, because she's showing me something like this as well for her. She also says she did show up in her dream. She may not have understood what she was saying, but she did show up in the dream, and to pay attention and pay attention. She'll try again next time, okay? Lucetto. Hi, Ferny. What do you see for me career-wise? I'm in my last year of business school. Do you think it will be difficult for me to find something? Um, Even though you're telling me about business school, I keep seeing you finding a job that has a lot of similarity to like human resources. So it's almost like it's more of like a human resources and business strategy or business structure. So there's something like that you might actually get, but it doesn't feel like it's the exact same thing that you were going to school for. But it doesn't feel bad. I actually think that you'll I don't think it'll be right away though. So I'm gonna say that I'm not seeing any change with job or the work until like December. So I'm thinking December is when you'll see something changing with that. Okay. I'm like really getting tired. Mm-hmm. Bring somebody on. That'll wake me up. Sometimes it wakes me up to talk to people. Let me bring somebody on. Let me see. Hello. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Yeah.
Awesome. Keep your face at the road. I do not want to be responsible if you crash. So, all right. What do you want to ask me about?
Any message from my dad that passed away a couple years
Yeah.
ago?
First of all, he's drawing on my chest. Do you have a tattoo on your chest of your dad or connected to your dad?
No.
Okay. He's writing something right here. So either there's a tattoo right here that's significant, or there's something about a tattoo on the chest or a marking on the chest because he's making reference to this. I'm seeing a bleeding heart. Okay, I'm seeing a bleeding heart. Did your dad have it? Do you know if anything happened with his heart, or there was anything going on with his heart function?
Yeah. His
Okay,
body.
okay, maybe this is what I'm seeing then, because I kept seeing my uncle. My uncle had a heart tattoo on his chest, and that's why I was going with that tattoo thing. But it might just be he's trying to acknowledge his heart being the issue. Okay, so let's go with that. So he's acknowledging that. He also keeps acknowledging the two juniors, junior and junior junior. Is there like a junior and a junior junior where there's like two people who have the same name?
No, just my older brother.
Okay, so your older brother's junior?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is your dad also a junior?
I don't think. Yes, I believe so.
Because he would be junior and then your brother's junior junior. So instead of saying like the second and the third, it's like junior and then junior junior. So that's how he's referring to it. He also keeps acknowledging, he didn't mean to scare you, but he's the one that caused the light to blow out or caused the light to like break. Did y'all have something happen where a light broke or a light went out?
But the other day at home, my wife, the circuit breaker tripped. Yeah.
Okay. That's that. He didn't mean to like scare y'all because he's showing me a light blowing out. So for me, that would make sense. So he's acknowledging that he was just trying to let you know he was around. He wasn't trying to scare y'all. He also says that there's a dog that keeps barking at him. Do y'all have a dog?
Yeah.
Okay. When the dog starts barking out of nowhere and there's nothing there to trigger the dog, that's him also coming around to get y'all's attention. He also says thank you. He can feel. Did he keep saying that he kept feeling numb in his legs or feet, or he kept feeling numb, like he couldn't feel his hands or his feet? Okay, because he's showing me this. He's like, I can feel my body. I can feel my hands and my feet. I can feel. So he's acknowledging that as well. Okay, he's trying to give me a name, but I don't think it's his name because this is a female's name. But is there also an Ophelia or Aurelia name?
I don't know.
Oops. Oh, hold on. You're freezing on me. Hold on, let me let you clear up.
I don't think so.
Okay, there's an Ophelia or it's an O female name. So it's like an O, and for me, when I think of this, is like Ophelia or Aurelia. There's like an O spirit. If you ask your mom or one of his family, they would know who this is. Thank you. It's almost like someone who went to the doctor or went to get a surgery and they died on the table. They didn't even make it through the surgery. So he's acknowledging someone having gone through this. He's also showing me a baby. Do you know if someone's pregnant?
No.
Okay. This is my symbol for either a baby's coming in or a baby's been born since this passing. Has there been a baby born since this passing?
Yes.
Okay. So he's acknowledging the baby that's been born since his passing. He's laughing and he says, there's also another one coming. So if you don't know yet, to be careful, because this may be, you may know what this is before the year's over with. He also says he's proud of you. He also says you're a good son. He also says you worry too much. He says you can work all your life, but make sure you enjoy the fruits of your labor. So he's acknowledging that. Were you wanting to buy land and build a house on it for the family?
No, just buy more property.
Okay, he's showing me land, and I feel like there's a temporary building on it that's like a trailer, and then there's something that actually gets built on it. Do you know of anything like that?
No.
Okay. If you have the opportunity to buy land, which has like a temporary building on it, like a trailer, it's a good investment or a good idea, and you can build something on it later on. But I think he's trying to give you, hey, heads up, this is going to come your way, and you might know about this through a friend, because he's acknowledging a friend that's going to help you or tell you about this as well. He also says thank you. So many veteran. Was your dad a veteran?
No.
Okay. Are you a veteran?
No.
Okay. No, there's something I'm missing. He's showing me something about a program that has to do with veterans getting loans or getting grants that can help them to invest in a business. So there's something there that you need to look into that you might somehow be able to qualify for, even if you're not a veteran. If you have a sibling or a significant other that has a connection, you might be able to use this, because he's acknowledging being able to use a veteran. Thank you. It's a government loan or government offering that would help you with what you're wanting to do with investing in your business. Okay. Also, he messed with your keys, so if you've been losing your keys, he's been messing with you to get your attention.
Okay.
Okay? All right, my friend. Well, you take care of yourself.
I have one more question.
Sure.
Just how I see myself going forward with my career will work. I'm working on getting my own license for air conditioning. Just want to know if it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. You're also going to get a license for solar panels as well, or solar installments, and you'll be doing two things at the same time. I do think that you'll keep going forward, but in 2 years you'll get an additional license for this other thing, and you're going to get really, really busy. Please be careful with how much time you spend out in the sun, because I can see you one day freaking out because your heart doesn't stop beating fast, and it's because you almost get like a heat stroke. So be careful being in the sun. If you got to wear one of them big old hats, so be it. But be careful with that. But yeah, I think that you'll continue to grow in your business, and in 2 years you'll add an additional license that you can use, because there's a lot of money to be made in that.
Okay.
It's like units that are only going to run off of panels, and so they're designed to run off of panels. So they're not even connected to the house's electric grid. But it's like a special license you have to be able to do that as well. And I think you'll do it and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay? All right, my friend. Well, you take care of yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right, let's see. Green. Hello.
Hi, Ferny.
Hi, Mama. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Question. Have you been having have you been afraid that someone's been stalking you or someone's been kind of like following you around?
No, but I've been seeing like randomly on TikTok. I'll go on TikTok and keep seeing videos of tarot card readers saying stuff like that.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I want you to just keep your eyes open. If you start to notice random cars parking in front of your house, or you start to notice like a car that drives by at night around the same time, and
Uh-huh.
they're not even from the neighborhood, I would just say be careful, be cautious, just like lock your doors. And if you don't have a like a ring or something, I would get one, just because I feel like you might end up having
Uh-huh.
someone that might either suddenly be attracted to you or they like really like you and it feels like almost stalkerish. I think you're fine. I think you're safe, but I still don't want you to even take the risk or to just not even take that seriously. So, because
Yeah,
I feel like this person, I almost feel the reason why I'm thinking this is as soon as I saw you, I kept thinking about a conversation I had with another client last week and they're being stalked. And
that's so
so,
weird that you say that because I literally been seeing like a lot of messages saying like stuff like that's happening, and I've been confused on like what. Like I haven't really seen anything.
yeah, it's like it's like it's a vehicle. It's a white vehicle. It feels like the vehicle would be like it looks like a vehicle that would belong to a police officer, but it's not a police officer. But it
Huh.
has like a look of it, and it also feels like on the um one of the tires is mismatched to the other three. So one of the tires may be missing a hubcap, the other three still have them. But it's something like
Okay.
that. So if you see a white vehicle going by at night around the same time, just be careful, be cautious. Because I just don't want you to take the chance or take the risk. And if you need to like go around with pepper spray, take pepper spray.
I already
I
have
feel like you're
some.
fine as long as you're in your home. I just don't want you
Okay.
to take the risk. And you need to get a ring doorbell. Please get a ring
And you
doorbell
you
for
don't
the
know who
front
it
and the back.
and you don't know who it could be or.
No, it doesn't. This is not someone you know.
Oh,
This is
okay.
almost like if like you're coming outside or you're out. Do you live in an apartment or in a house?
House.
Okay, in the neighborhood where you live at, down the street to the right where you are. So if you're like standing in front of your doorway, you're looking
Yeah, I
out to
could
the
see.
right.
Yeah, I could
At the
see it.
very end, at the very end, is there kind of like a house that like there's like something covering the roof or the roof is rear?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone hanging around that area, I want you to just to like just be aware. If
Okay.
people, there's like, because I feel like, and this is a guy, so this is like a tall guy. He's got darker features. I feel like he's a little bit like messy in his face. I also feel like he wears a lot of either blues or dark blues. So it feels like
Okay.
this like a male like that. But it's just one of those people like they're socially awkward or they seem awkward. I don't think
Uh-huh.
that he's going to hurt you or that anything will happen, but I just want you to be safe and just to kind of, be prepared to like, if you got to like make it clear that you're not putting up with anything or like, so you can
Okay.
deal with that. But I would just
Yeah.
like have a video thing in the front and the back. And I think that you should cover your bases.
It's really weird too because my ex-boyfriend told has been getting messages like on his Instagram asking like for picture people were asking like for pictures of me if you had any pictures of me. So I don't know if that could be the same person
Interesting.
or
I
yeah.
don't know.
I
That
know.
is weird, but I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, just, you're right. Just be careful.
Okay. I
Okay.
did have a question for you. Last time you told me that you saw me going back to school in 2 years. Do you know for what or if any.
Yeah. Um, it feels like it would be connected to something you've already done. What is the job you have right now?
I'm a speech pathologist, so I just finished my master's degree and I'm just starting a new job next month.
Okay. I think it's still in the same industry. So I think
Okay.
it's still in the same industry. It's just it's not. What is a speech pathologist? What do they do?
So basically, you can work with kids that have like autism, or you can work with like adults that have had like strokes or brain injuries, and then I basically help them go back to like what their normal was before, and help them like swallow and like do basic life things and be
Okay.
independent.
I think you'll do that for a bit, but I feel like there's a shift that takes place because in 2 years, it feels like you're adding on language as part of that. And it's almost like, it's not almost like sign language, but it's like a type of language or a type of like, what I'm thinking of now when I'm asking myself, I keep thinking of like when I'm watching these documentaries and they're like, oh, I brought, an Egyptologist and, we had him like pronounce certain sounds or whatever, and he pronounced it in the original way it was spoken, not in the way that we would think today. And so there's something to it that I feel is more tied to like historical language or language that feels like it's going to come into this.
Okay, yeah, because you told me last time it was going to be something like where I was providing resources to other people.
That's a separate thing. That's a separate thing. That may still be through the company that you work with right now, where you might get involved with the program that they're going to offer, where you would basically be giving an opportunity to give people who can't afford or people who need special types of help. You would be working with. That's a special program, and that's in collaboration with another hospital system.
Okay.
So that would be with more than one medical system. But that's a separate thing from what I'm seeing right now.
Okay. And then my new job that I just got, so I just graduated and I accepted a job in a hospital and I start next month. Do you see anything good or like bad or anything specifically with that job?
I think that the person that's going to be over you is going to be a bitch. So you might want to be prepared for having to feel like you're not being appreciated, and because they're going to think that you have everything up and you should be like ready to go. And you're like, I need to understand y'all and y'all system. So it's going to be a little bit like of a pain in the ass. However, I think it'll be fine. But you're not going to stay at that location. You're going to go to a different location for that same system.
Oh, okay. And then for my career, you can work with children or adults. Do you see me working with one specific population?
I think you'll actually end up working with children at some point. I think you'll end up focusing more on that until I start seeing more of what I was seeing coming in.
Okay.
All right, Mama. Well, you take care of yourself. Stay safe, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ferny.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Cash Thomas is like, Fernie, does a certain family member, you're like, why are you speaking in code? Like, I can't tell you who it is and I can't tell you who it's for. Like, it's like, what is, yeah, let me come on, let me see if I can bring you on. Let me bring you on. Let's see. Like, why are you speaking in code? Just tell me just ask me what you want to ask. Hey, how you doing?
Hey. Good, how are you?
Why are you speaking in code? Just spit out what you're asking me. So what did you want to ask me?
So I recently have gained custody of a family member's child.
Yeah.
And there's a family member that passed away that is his grandmother. And I just want to know if she sees what's been going on and if she thinks that we're doing the right thing by him.
Yeah. So first of all, she keeps talking about there's 2 fights. Is this like one of 2 fights with this whole situation?
Sort of.
Okay, because there's almost like there's 2 legal processes that you have to go through with it. Okay, because she's talking about 2 legal processes or fights. Is how she's referring to it. She says yes. She says she's already said yes, that she approves of what's being done in a dream to 2 separate people. So 2 separate people may have actually dreamt of her, and she tried to let them know she was on board with what was being done. She also says that sometimes it's sad that sometimes someone's own family is that dangerous, but she's like, this is necessary. So she's making it clear this is necessary. She also makes me think is there a Lindsay or a Linda name connection to that side of the family?
So, I'm getting bad signal.
Oh,
yes. Okay.
You broke up. So tell me again.
Linda, Linda, yes.
Who is Linda to the female, or who's Linda to y'all?
So Linda is the person that passed away. Remarried her husband. So it's the child's step grandmother.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So she's on board with it. She's showing me. She keeps thinking. Is she showing me Valentine's Day? Is there a connection to February or Valentine's Day?
Well, my birthday is in February, but not.
Okay.
Not
She's just wishing you a happy birthday. She's just wishing you a happy birthday. She also keeps thinking. She also keeps acknowledging that you might be able to utilize some funds or money that could technically were made available for some other issue, but you could use it towards this to help with this. Does that make sense?
Okay. Not yet, but maybe.
Okay. Is there a property that's been sold or a property that's in the process of being sold connected to that person?
No, not that we know of.
What she's showing me is, like, if I were going to sell a piece of property, and then I can take proceeds that I get from that to put towards this, so I can make sure that this is not going to be something that can be broken through or that can be screwed with in the future.
Okay.
That's okay. You don't know what it is yet. This is still to come. There's a property that will be sold or money that will come from an estate or a property that you can use towards completing this process. She also says, thank you, she's okay with the name being changed as well.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So she's acknowledging that as well.
That was a question we've been having.
Yeah, she's fine with it. She's fine with it. So yeah, the answer is yes, she's fine and she sees what's going on.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, you're going to do this again 2 more times, but with children that are not family.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah, so be prepared because you're setting yourself up for like an obsession here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Sierra. You take care of yourself.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, I am done because I am pooped and I am done. So I'm going to take my 15-minute break. I will be back in 15 minutes for our study group time, and we're doing, what are we doing? The Secret. So we're reading The Secret. We're going to talk about The Secret. So I'll be back in about 15 minutes, and we'll start our study group time, okay? All right, guys, I love you.